I got so distracted. You put it down. I was like, Danny, don't leave me.
No.
Danny, no. I'll be good. I'll be good for you, baby.
No, supposed to keep going.
But
Go.
yes, people who are like behind the mask, man, I can't, because you don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know who they are at all as a person. Because I know so many people who are like are a really nice person, and then you just see something in their eyes. It's just like,
yeah, they're like just a little fucked up, and I'm like, just show it, just do it. There's this one person that I've worked with in the past.
Yes, come to the dark side.
There's this one person where I've worked with in the past, and you could tell she's like the nicest lady, like the most like warm-hearted, like she cares about a lot of people kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell that things just annoyed her, and like I could tell it, and I'm like,
oh, dude, I get that too.
And I got her to warm up to me to finally like open up and tell me shit, but it took so long. I would just be like, cause it makes you feel better. It makes you feel better if you just
I'm in the
vent
circle.
to somebody and go like,
oh, that's what you're talking about.
no, yeah. I mean, like it feels better to vent to somebody and go like, oh my god, this person pissed. And like I don't see that as gossip if you're spreading rumors and if you're spreading like,
well, I
shit,
see. Okay,
but sometimes you just need to vent to somebody and go like, oh my god, this pissed me off kind of thing, and then that's it. They move on, they do whatever, they continue with work, whatever.
There's definitely like spreading rumors and being malicious.
Yeah.
And then there's like the I need to get this off my chest, like, god damn it, motherfucker, fuck shit, and then okay, I'm cool now.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, this lady, I know she's like the nicest person. Like, you know, I've worked with her for a while. She always tries to give people like
nicest.
She always tries to give people like, what do you mean?
Am I dethroned?
Oh, by a long shot. What the fuck you mean?
I'm super nice.
Eat shit. You've been nice.
Eat shit and die.
Once. Probably.
Fall off a cliff, you fuckface.
Go kick bricks.
Anyway, this is Patrick.
This is Danny.
And this week we're going to talk about, you guessed it, video games.
What?
Who would have ever thought?
Yeah.
Us? Video games? Nah.
Us? Nerds?
This is uncharted territory.
We're talking about Uncharted?
Shit, I haven't played those.
I haven't played those either.
Fuck. God, we're bad nerds.
But do you want to first start off with our Bigoofs?
Let's start with Bigoofs.
Start with Bigoofs. All right. Do you want to start with yours? Or?
I guess.
All right. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh, my God. First of all, emailing anybody is a tough fucking time.
It is. I hate doing it.
Emailing your advisor, I'd rather just transfer schools.
I hate talking formally. I hate having to be
it's like
you're not human.
I want to be like, hey, buddy, can you help me out?
I know.
Can't do that.
It doesn't feel like
hello,
they're human.
Professor ... May I please have help in this certain area? Thank you.
I was just emailing you concerning my my this and that and then
just,
thank
like,
you for your
push
time.
up your glasses.
I know, but like it just feels.
Anyway,
I hate doing that just because it doesn't feel human. It doesn't feel like I'm having a human interaction. It's like I'm emailing like a fucking robot, and I'm just like, here you go. Maybe it will understand what I mean if I send it this way. Here you go. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, this is my Bigoof.
Yeah, sorry.
I was trying to see if I could overload a class and get in because this professor, he's fucking awesome. I wanted to try and get in, but I didn't know how. All I did was send out an email essentially, hey, I emailed this professor. I'm not really sure what to do to overload the class. Can you help me out? That's it. That's all I sent.
Yeah.
And he sent the first email, and it was, oh, you just have to email your professor, and he'll help you out. Second email, oh, that professor, he gets all of his classes filled in the first week. You should have started earlier.
Fuck, that's so annoying.
And it's just like, I feel so judged. I feel so...
It feels like...
oh, God.
Don't you know that I know that I fucked up?
It's like, I'm here because I fucked up. Like, I wasn't even sure if I was going to go to school this semester, so it was late to begin with.
Yeah.
And, like, I knew this professor took in people to overload the class because it was already 2 people over. What's one more? And a 90-person class. It's like dropping the fucking bucket, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy has always been giving me grief, man. Every time I email him, I'm never emailing him again.
Is it your advisor?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm lucky with my advisor. Super nice, but she's almost too nice to the point where I always feel bad when I come up to her again. I'm like, hey, can you help me out again? Because I'm just lost.
I have not had any luck, dude. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and none of them, they've always just been like, you're stupid.
My advisor,
nothing I can do.
My advisor called me at like January 2nd in middle of break to be like, hey, you still don't have all your classes. Do you want to? You can come up early and like meet with me one day so we can talk about it, so we can make sure that you're good and set for the semester. And I was like, God, she cares. And I was like, I was still hungover January 2nd. It still transferred to 2 days later. God damn.
Dang, dude. Anyway, my big goof is that I thought somebody would actually care about me.
I thought that I mattered to some people.
I thought I mattered to somebody I was paying to do a job.
Yeah. No, you would think. You'd
think with the money I'm throwing at them.
They just don't care sometimes.
I've thrown more money than probably anybody.
True.
I've been in college too long. That's a whole separate big goof.
It's a lifelong big goof.
Oh God. Anyway, let's move on to your big goof so I can stop thinking about my big goof.
Yeah. Dude. Okay. So my big goof, kind of interesting. So I was at the rec. I feel a little weird because I think my big goofs 2 times in a row were
now this is the recreation center.
Yeah, it's the gym. And so I was at the gym and I ran into one of our friends at the gym, and he was doing some boxing training.
Okay.
Over there.
Say no more.
And he was doing something, and I was doing something else. I think I was just like lifting weights or something like that. I wasn't really.
Nice.
It was like it was a workout, but like it wasn't making me like drenched in sweat. It wasn't like a cardio thing. It wasn't like I was like like hyperventilating or like that.
Right.
So, but then I come over, and this was right after I texted that friend saying, "Hey, you want to get food afterwards?" But he didn't respond, so because he was in the middle of doing his boxing thing. Then I went over as he was getting water, and I was like, "Hey man, you probably didn't see the text, but do you want to go do it?" And I went to go talk to him. Then this one guy comes up and talks to us, and he goes like, "Hey man, what were you doing? Like what are you doing? You look like you're like working out. Like you seem like you're like about to die. Like what have you been doing?" He's like, "Oh man, I've just been like." Well,
yeah,
my friend
he
was
came to the other guy, right?
Yeah, not me. He came to the other
Our
guy,
buddy, yeah.
and he was like, "Oh my god," he's like. You've been like, you're sweating, you're breathing hard. Like, what have you been doing? He was like, "Oh man, I was just boxing. Like it was, that's like such a workout. Like that's such like, I'm out of breath." And he was like drenched in sweat. So like, and then I was over there,
and he's like in good shape.
Yeah,
to be drenched in that good of shape, it means
it needs something important to get him there.
He's up over there punching a side of beef or something.
Yeah,
he's tenderizing some motherfuckers.
And then, but then he was like I think he asked both of us at first, but then I think he kind of realized that I wasn't sweating or I wasn't like anything. I was just there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he was boxing. I was just doing something else." And he was like, "Oh, so you're like the hype man," and that kind of made me feel like shit. So because I was like, I just went with it, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, I'm the hype man, yeah, whatever." But in reality, I was doing something else. I was like, "Nah, I wasn't his hype man. I didn't do anything." He just I think I might have gotten a little sassy, but I was like, "Nah, man, I'm not. No, yeah, whatever. Yeah, fuck it. I'm the hype man." He's like, "Okay, yeah, I got you, hype man." And I was like, and I just kind of felt annoyed, but at the same time, I was like, whatever, move on.
Right.
I'm never gonna see this guy again.
Never.
Fuck it.
Gone forever.
You would think that's my big oof. Negative. So the next
this
day,
is all just set up.
Yeah, this is all set up. So the next day, or maybe like a couple days later, I went to my class that I actually missed the first day, which could be another big oof. I missed the first day of that class. Just because I overslept.
Listen, we're keeping a tally.
And and so I walk in, and it's a weightlifting class. I walk in, I'm like, "Oh, is this class?" And I get in there.
I feel a rumbling, and I feel a disturbance.
I see the dude who's like leading the class, and I'm like, "Looks kind of familiar." Anyway, he's like, "Yeah, dude, just sign up over there." And he was like, "Wait, I know you, right?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" And he was like,
"Oh my god!"
He was like,
no.
He was like, "You were doing the thing with the other guy," and I was like, "Oh yeah, Bobby was boxing." And he was like, "Oh, I just said his name. Whatever, it doesn't matter." He was like,
"You want a social too?" I got it. I got a guy.
But I was like, "Oh yeah, he was doing that thing," and I was doing something. Like, "Yeah, you were the hype man," and he said that in front of the whole class, and I was just like, "Yeah, that was."
I don't know how much you can take attention. That is the point where I would have melted onto the floor.
No, it didn't feel that bad for me, but I did see that. Like I heard that, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I was like, "Yeah, that was me. Yeah, sure, whatever," and just like moved on and just continued. Oh yeah, but that was really awkward. And like, I didn't know a single person in that class, but the first thing they heard when they walked in, or the first thing that they knew of me was like, "You're the hype man," and I was just like,
This could potentially turn into a good thing.
That's true. Maybe you could.
It's been nothing but positive.
Maybe
at least you didn't come in as like, "Oh, you're the dude who shit his pants."
That would have been awkward. That would have been really awkward.
Really awkward. Literally today at work, I was like, to my coworker, I was like, that customer looks familiar. And she's like, oh, he shit his pants guy. This guy shit his pants at work and still comes in.
That's some bravery.
He quit like a week later. He shit his pants at work and never showed up again until he came to get food.
And he's like, time has passed. I still want hot dogs.
Cojones, man.
I
didn't listen. He almost got away with it. He almost did because I didn't remember anything except his face. But then I triggered it, man. And the girl who I'm working with literally went up to him and was like, hey, shit your pants, man. How you doing? Hey, what's up? You remember me? I remember you.
That's but he stopped showing up, right? Like he did like no call no show.
Yeah, he no call no show.
I guess that's a little warranted. I mean, like it's 50-50 because like at the same time, most people who shit their pants at work won't come back.
Okay. Here's the takeaway from all of our. As long as we don't shit our pants anywhere, we will never be that one guy that shits his pants.
That's true.
So let's drink to that.
That's a big oof that we'll never do. Hopefully.
God, I just set us up for a big.
Oh yeah,
failure.
we're gonna shit our pants so much. We're gonna be at Bonnaroo in the middle of the crowd, so it's gonna take us like 20 minutes to get to the back. And then we're gonna shit our pants, and we're not gonna be able to get out.
We will be at Bonnaroo. Yes, I agree.
Yes, we're both at Bonnaroo. You accepted that last podcast.
Both.
You did.
Roll the tape back. And this is the part where you put it in.
Can we just be whispering? It's like this is the part where it's playing right now.
Well, you just get a still of me, and you record your lips moving,
just up and down like a puppet.
I can neither confirm nor deny Bonnaroo status at this time.
There's actually a guy who I used to be in band with.
That's hot.
And he was during the whole performance that we had to do.
No.
He almost, I don't know if he actually did, but he at least almost shit his pants. I don't know if he fully did, but he was like, he said he was full on marching, and like, which if you know anything about marching band, it's like a lot of movement, a lot of like steps to remember all that shit. And he said he was clenching them cheeks the whole fucking time.
Oh my god.
He was like, it's about to slip.
That's a good workout at least. I mean, come on. He's probably got some toned buttocks right now.
Right when we ended and we like left the field, he just fucking bolted to the bathroom. He's like, okay, what we're doing next? I gotta go. And he just brought his instrument in the bathroom, and he's like, it's game time.
just tuck the tuba over and just fucking go.
Goes in the tuba, goes out the. He's playing it through the tuba. It's like, have you ever seen Daddy Daycare where the shit's all over the ceiling or like that? Have you ever seen that?
It's been a while.
Where like Eddie Murphy like walks into the bathroom and it like. It's like a kid comes up to him. He's like, I used the bathroom, but I made a mess. And he's like, what'd you do? And he like walks in. And he does the thing where he like looks up and he's like, oh, he has like that that dirty like, oh, oh my god. And he like looks up and it's like
that
the thing
Eddie
falls
Murphy money shot, baby.
And so like he was I just imagine that where he's just like he's in the bathroom here, brr, and then you just see the shit like it's so disgusting. But you just see the shit spray into the ceiling and like all over like.
We should write a comedy. I think this is great.
Oh man, that's why we have a podcast for it, so people can know how great we are.
This is our jumping off point.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll write a book.
In 20 years, this is what's going to stop us from being a director on a Disney movie.
Dude, could you imagine? I couldn't imagine. That's too much pressure. Being a director is so fucking difficult. Could you imagine that? Because like, okay, a lot of like.
Hey, watch this. Hey, can you go over there and do that thing? I just directed. Not that hard.
It's not.
Not that fucking hard, is it?
Fuck you. Because most people.
That was a joke. Being a director is very hard.
Dude, yeah, like
very hard.
I just like most of the behind the scenes stuff. Even if you're very high up in the behind the scenes shit, nobody is more noticeable than the director.
I mean, he's the one that gets blamed if it's a flop.
Exactly. Like
my man JJ or my man Ryan.
Yeah. What was the most recent movie that he came out with that was like really good? What was it?
What are we talking about?
Ryan Johnson.
Oh, Knives Out.
Knives Out, right?
Yeah.
And everybody was like praising that movie, how it's so fucking good.
Well, he should have never been handed. We don't need to get into Star Wars, but he should have never been handed something that had a collaborative effect. He's very much better off on his own, doing his own thing.
Yeah, and like one of my friends who hated The Last Jedi.
Loved Knives Out.
Yeah, he loved it. He was like, "That's such a good movie."
That's because he got something he was going to do good at.
And then at the end, he said, He's like, I wonder who directed, and it popped out like directed by Ryan Johnson. And he was like, and he was just like, "Are you? That's great." He's like, that was fantastic. He was like, he did way better job.
He
like,
redeemed himself for sure.
It really did
Because he got so much hate, and then he was like, "But check this out," and then he kick flips.
Yeah, and you're like, "Oh wow, nice." And I say, forget the Last Jedi. That was a good one. But yeah, like it's, and then like like we talked about, it's all the blame, and if you do great, you get all the glory too. But it's really
listen.
You're doing everything. You're making sure that everything is going smoothly.
If the movie's great, you know who gets the praise?
The actors.
The actors.
I think that's changing more though. I think we're getting more and more aware.
There's always been a little bit of celebrity with directors, but those are like the big.
Yeah, exactly. They're like top tier. I think we're getting a lot more directors that are like mid tier, like good movies,
with
good
like social media, and like if a director has really good social media,
you have
like Taika Waititi.
Yeah, you have a
nobody
lot more
would know
active.
who the fuck he was, except he was in his movies a lot, but
yeah, you get a lot more like
you get a fleshed out attitude, and like before it was just like you saw nothing of them, you knew nothing of them,
except for a name,
except like maybe like on Entertainment Weekly or some stupid shit.
All right, so I did want to bring up, because I thought this was an interesting topic, of like, what is your first gaming experience, like first video game that you played and you were like, wow, like that was like most memorable. I'm sure you probably don't remember the first video game you played, but like what was the first one you remember?
The first thing that was important to me was getting my Game Boy Color, because before that we had a Nintendo 64. We had like 2 games, like Tonic Trouble and like Mario Kart, and those like I couldn't really play by myself. Like they weren't mine. They were the family's.
Yeah.
And before that, I had to just watch my sister play. Like Pokemon, I didn't get the first Pokemon Red or Blue because I was too young or whatever.
No, whatever.
And my sister, who I've, been playing Pokemon just as long as her now, she's always been like, well, actually, I got the first game before you, so I've been playing Pokemon longer. Well, actually, I don't give a shit. Anyway, I got Pokemon Gold. That was my first Pokemon game. And I got my little Totodile, and I named him Mr. T.
Good name. Good name.
A great name. But then he turned into Feraligatr, and I was like, Feraligatr doesn't start with an F. My little 4-year-old brain was like, fuck! So I was like, all right, I'm going to put a Band-Aid over this. F. His name was capital F. And I got him all the way to level 100, and he was my best friend.
I would have just, if like I'm like, streaming wasn't a thing at the time, we just go like F's in chat.
F's in chat was, dude, I had F's in chat before it was cool.
I know, you started it.
What can I say?
And like,
you're welcome, Activision.
Do you think that was also like your most impactful gaming experience as a young one?
Do you not think that Pokemon has impacted me in quite a big way?
Yeah, I would say so. Actually,
I would say so. Pokemon is in my veins.
See,
it's disgusting. Like I live and breathe it, and I know it's a problem. I have an addiction. I don't know how to get rid of it.
I just imagine going to the doctor and it's like, "What's wrong?" Is I can't stop playing Pokemon. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Past that, man. In a broader sense, it has given me like a really like a love for RPGs in the sense that I actually enjoy grinding.
Yeah.
Like I can sit there and just like level up for hours and not get bored.
Yeah.
Which is I know it's crazy. I know I'm just sitting there doing literally nothing. It hits that little monkey brain in the back that's like, ooh, that's +1. Ooh, that's +2. Ooh, +3. See, I got all kinds.
Sometimes I can do that if I have something going on, like if I have like Netflix playing or YouTube playing or something like that.
I can,
but I can't just focus on a game like that. Like
I can't play any video games without like 3 or 4 other things happening at once.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just because my brain is mush now. Yeah. Because I'm old and one thing is not stimulating enough. There's so much to do. There's so much to consume. There's so much to understand. You can't just do one thing at a time.
Oh yeah.
Studying? Fuck that. I'm watching 3 movies at once.
Dude, I will, anytime I have a project to do, I will go to the library and go like, I'm going to spend the next 4 hours here. And like my friend would be like, why are you like, it's going to take 4 hours to do that? And I was like, no, it's going to take 4 hours of me getting distracted every 20 minutes. Less than that, every 5 minutes.
You got to think up of good tweets. That's what's been getting me lately, distracting, is good tweets.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're falling very far from the tree here.
That's true. Like I said,
let's talk about your gaming memories. I've been talking too much.
So I've always played video games. I think my first memory is having an N64.
That's cool. Want to talk about my N64? Just kidding.
I would have that,
You
and I
really
would play.
you got a 64?
Yeah.
64 was on its way out by the time I got it.
Huh? Yeah. Well, I had it when I was
Well,
a
you
kid.
you had older siblings, didn't you?
Well, yeah, it was kind of. I don't remember how we got it. Honestly, I don't know if they bought it. My parents bought it for us or what.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
like,
mean, listen, it slaps. I love it still to
yeah,
this day.
yeah. I played a lot of like random games on there that I couldn't tell you that much about.
Give me one name. Give me one name.
Okay, well, we had like the Mario Kart,
Easy pull.
the Pokemon Stadium,
Easy pull.
GoldenEye.
Easy pull.
Fuck you mean?
Give me-
They're all classic games because they're what they're known for.
I had no classic games except Mario Kart and 64.
What else? We had I know there was like a Toy Story racing game, which I still don't know where that is, or like I've never heard anything about it since then, but I remember there's a Toy Story racing game. And then there's also a game where it had like there's like a lizard on the cover for it, but I don't know.
Chameleon Twist. It's Chameleon Twist 2. It's amazing.
Really?
I literally, I was in my brain, I was like, please say Chameleon Twist so we can talk about Chameleon Twist. Please, for the love of God, say it.
Yeah, I do
Chameleon
remember
Twist
playing
is
that.
a platformer where you shoot out your tongue, you like grab stuff, and you can like do like flips with your tongue and stuff. It is one of the best Nintendo 64 games, in my opinion.
We're talking about two different games then.
We are not.
We 100% are.
That is the only game.
No.
Oh shit, Gecko. I forgot about Gecko.
It wasn't like a cartoon game. It was like a shooter game. But it had like
Excuse me?
basically it was like the cover was like a lizard, but like it was like all you saw was the reptile eye on the
Oh,
cover.
that's Turok.
Turok. Okay.
I got so excited. I just wanted to talk about Chameleon Twist 2, god damn it.
I'm sorry, I did play that.
Fucking Turok. Whatever, fine. That's your pull. That's your weird pull.
But that was my first gaming experience, and I had like a PlayStation. PlayStation 2 is where I played a lot of my classic games. They're like PlayStation 2, you got
The next generation.
Jack and Dexter, you got Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper.
I played Sly Cooper way after he was cool.
Was
Kingdom Hearts?
Was Ty the Tasmanian thing?
Yes.
Was that
PlayStation 2?
PlayStation 2? Okay, I didn't know if that was that or a
Wait
different
a
one.
minute. Might be PS1. I don't know. My PlayStation brain is a little fuzzy.
Yeah, those were like main, like I guess that was when I played more games that I recognized as games. I think with the N64 it was kind of just like I'm playing, it's kind of fun, yeah, whatever, but I don't really know what I'm doing.
Well, when you get into the nitty-gritty stuff, when it's like fun.
But then the gaming experience that I feel like changed me was going to my cousin's house, and he had a PC. And it wasn't the PC that changed me. It was the fact that he had Left 4 Dead on his PlayStation, or not PlayStation, his PC. Sorry, I was just thinking about PS2. On his computer, and he would let me play with it. And even as a kid, every game that I played, even though I played like the single player like Sly Cooper stuff, and like Ratchet and Clank, the most like memories that I had playing with video games was when I went to my cousin's house and I played with them. And we would have like co-op fun or whatever. I'd like try to kill them in a game.
Oh,
or
you
whatever.
play with your cousin?
Yeah.
That's nice.
What?
Whenever I went to cousin's house, they made me watch them play.
Well, yeah, there's times when they made me watch, but like usually it would just be me and one cousin, and we would like play it together.
To be fair, I have probably 10 cousins that would all get together. So I'd be just in queue, in the line, waiting.
Yeah,
like,
I had a lot of cousins. I had a lot of cousins too, but I usually think about the times when I went over to the cousin's house and spend the night, and it would just be me and him kind of thing, or like I would, but this cousin had Left 4 Dead on his computer, and that's what opened my eyes to like, holy shit. You can play with people online. Like you don't have to meet up with people in person, and you can just actually play with people. And like it feels like a semi-different experience every time you play it, because it's like you're playing with new people, new strategies, new everything. And I was like, holy shit! Like that fucking blew my mind. I went to my cousin's house, and I would try not to be an asshole about it. Like I want to, but like, can I play Left 4 Dead and take your computer away from you? And so like I would go to his house and I would say, hey, can I? And like I was chill there for like maybe 20 minutes.
You're just like a crackhead. Hey, can I?
Yeah, and eventually he caught on. He would just go like I would just say, hey, can I? And
are you like using your PC at all for any reason right now? No. Oh,
no. How convenient. Did not you have that Left 4 Dead game that I could play?
What's that game? Left for Dying?
Left 2 Dead? Something? No, Left 4 Dead. Yeah, it makes sense.
Wrong turn. Wrong turn. Alive? Dead or alive?
Yeah, so I would like freak. Like every time I went to his house, I would just go like, "Hey, you're not using it? Can I play it?" And he'd just go like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll just use it." And then that opened my eyes to I realizing I knew that computer was like out of my brain capacity. Like I didn't know how to build one, how to buy one, really expensive, whatever. That's too much for me. So I was like, Left 4 Dead is on console. Let me get an Xbox so I can play. And that was the first time I ever like. I guess I asked for the Wii, but like,
who didn't?
Yeah. But that was the first time I wanted like one of the mainstream consoles because I think the PlayStation 2, we just got it for the family. It wasn't like mine or like that. But the Xbox, I was like, I want an Xbox.
Is this 360?
Yes.
You know what? Okay.
Well, the PlayStation 2 was also with Xbox, so PlayStation 2 was like.
Yeah, but I was just getting the time frame together.
Yeah, and I remember my mom was like, "Boy, we cannot afford that shit. What the fuck you expecting?" And I was like, "All right, don't worry." And I remember I was walking through my house when all of my aunts were at my house with my mom. You know, they were having the parent meeting or whatever.
Right.
And then one of my aunts went up to me and she was like, "Danny, what do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, they're like, what are you thinking for? And I went up to them like a fucking board meeting, and I was like, all right, listen up, bitches. and I was like, no, I said, all right, so all of you guys all want to chip in, including you, mother. And it was like, if all of you guys, like, it was like, she could put, like, I think I even pointed at my mom, I was like, she could put the most amount of money she wants to, because she's my mom. And I was like, if all of you guys want to chip in and all get me an Xbox and then maybe one game or so, that's all I would need. And I was like, that's all I want. None of you guys have to give me anything else. That's all I want. And I felt like all my aunts gave me like golf claps. Like, good idea, Danny. Like, good idea. It's like, that's pretty cheap for like all of us to chip, because there's like, I don't know, like fucking like 8 aunts right there or something like that. Or maybe a little less. I don't know. But there was like a lot there.
You should go on Shark Tank.
Yeah, I felt like a businessman. I was like, all you guys need to chip in, not that expensive for each of you, and then give me like a game and a controller, and we're good. We're solid.
Like 2 payments of $299.
Yeah, I felt so smart. And like I said, all my aunts like really like I think they realized, I think they were surprised to hear a good idea from me, because I'm sure they were expecting me to go like,
there's Danny, there's the dipshit machine.
I want like an Xbox and 14 games, or I want this, blah, blah, blah. But I went up to them, like, I'd even had that prepared beforehand. She just said, Danny, what do you want? And I was like, now that you ask. And it's like, well, let's get this shit started. Okay, Xbox. But no, it worked out. They actually all chipped in. They all got me an Xbox. My mom tripped me up. My mom tripped me up because she did one of those pranks where she got me a huge ass box that was like
box in a box in a box.
Oh, she didn't do the box in a box thing, but she put a shit ton of like wrapping paper in it. And I think she even put a couple blankets in there to make it heavy. And at the bottom, it was just. And then I realized I was getting so far. I was like, oh, what is this? This has to be something tiny. I got to the bottom, and it was an Xbox game. And I was like,
oh, wait a minute.
I can't play this unless I have an Xbox, mother. And I was like, so like, what you trying to say?
Excuse me, I do not have the current system to use this.
What if I didn't get the joke? And I look at her and I was like, you bitch. It's like, I don't have an Xbox.
How could you do this? We're going to GameStop right now.
It's like, you ruined me.
I'm going to talk about this with my therapist in 10 years. This is it. This is the turning point.
But then that just trickled down to me playing more multiplayer games after I got an Xbox. And it was very coincidental that I got an Xbox just for Left 4 Dead. But then when I went to when I was going to middle school and I found more people that played Xbox, I found more people that played video games, and they all played Xbox. Like every single one of them, we all played Modern Warfare 2 and Halo and all that shit together. And I was just like, wow. Like, because most people in my school, they got it so that they could play together. You know what I mean? They all knew each other. They all got it, and they were like, yeah, let's all play together. But then, like, since I moved over here, it's
a lot harder.
Yeah, like I was like, hey, what's up? And they were like, oh, do you play like Call of Duty? I was like, yeah, dude. And they're like, yeah, let's do that shit. And that's what turned me. Actually, I got turned on to Halo before Call of Duty because I
was gonna say Halo is what made me get an Xbox, and I remember I had the same board meeting pitch, except it was with my dad, my mom, and my sister. And I was like,
I spilled soda on my leg.
Yes, yes, you did. Did you spill soda on my new couch?
I don't think so. No, we're good.
Okay.
It's seeping to my thighs, though. All right, keep going.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Danny.
My thighs are so moist.
Moist.
All right, keep going.
Anyway, I had the same board meeting pitch with my sister, my dad, and my mom. And I was like, I have $82. Margaret, how much money do you have?
Mm-hmm.
She had probably like 100. I was like, okay, I'm going to sell all these games. And it was like probably a stack of like 20.
Yeah.
20 games we didn't give a shit about. I was like, we're going to get an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and I take these games. They give me probably like $20.
Yeah, because they're fucking shitty with taking
'Cause
back
they're
games.
shitheads.
Yeah.
And we're like still like 100 off. That's when I turn to my dad and just give him the old puppy dog. Like, I want to play Halo with my friends.
Oh, Halo, Dad.
I want to play Halo.
Please, this is my only chance of having friends.
All my friends won't play Wii with me anymore.
That's such a you thing to say. It's like, none of my friends want to play Nintendo.
I have to do this to keep up with the kids. Anyway, we got it. And my dad probably paid for over half of that fucking thing. But I was like, yes, I did it. This was my plan and it worked. And ever since then, I have not touched it.
Dude, it's surprising how many like consoles I've had over the years or like things. Because then I just feel bad because if you put all that, I wish I could put all that money, even though like it made for fantastic memories.
Right.
I almost wish I could just put all that money together and buy something new right now. Like, cause like, okay, not like to brag, but I feel like a lot of people had the same shit too. Where I had a fucking Xbox 360, a PlayStation 2, a Wii, a DS, a PSP.
Ooh.
And it's just like they were obviously they were spread out through like all of my 18 years of living.
Right.
But it was like
living large.
That's so fucking much, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how my parents did it.
I mean, a lot of mine was like, I don't want anything else except this one thing.
That's
please,
how
for
mine
the
was
love
too.
of God, please.
And the Wii was not just mine. It was like me and my sisters. So
those you can pawn off on other people, so you still get some shit.
yeah, the PSP I felt so cool, and then I felt so nerdy right away because mine had the Darth Vader on it. It was like the white PSP that had the Darth Vader in it. And nowadays, I still think it looks cool as shit. I like for a PSP for a little game thing. I was like, that looks dope. And especially now that Star Wars is like way more mainstream, I feel like
absolutely
nobody would like give a shit. It's like, well, that's a video game thing anyway. So like, if you're going nerdy, go all the fuck out. And
balls deep.
And I remember I thought this was so cool, and then I brought it to school, and I was like, oh no, these guys are gonna make fun of me. like they never got the chance because I never brought it out. I was like, oh shit, I don't want to get made fun. I don't want to be classified as a Star Wars nerd. So I was just like, you know what? And then they were like, Dan, you have a PSP now? And I'd be like, yeah, I do. Yeah. And they're like, you want to play it?
It's at a friend's house.
Yeah, I left it home. I didn't want to bring it here. Which, okay. So now that I look back at that,
stupid.
It was the dumbest thing that
you could have been playing with your buddies.
No, not that. Not that. We did play a lot.
Friendship
with each
is magic.
Other
that's all I know.
We did play with each other like on recess.
My Little Pony taught me fucking anything. It's that friendship is fucking magic, Danny.
No, okay. So I used to walk. This was in New York City.
In New York, New York.
I was like, this was like from 4th to 6th grade.
Right.
I would walk like a mile, maybe a mile and a half to school, all the time. I think I would take the bus. I think I would take the city bus on the way there.
Oh, but back and forth in the snow, in the rain.
I would.
Why don't you deliver some mail while you're at it?
But then I would walk back on the way. What do you mean deliver mail?
I don't know. It was a joke that was half baked.
Just like me. Hey, just kidding. I wish I was baked.
No, I wasn't baked at all. I'm doughy as shit.
Good one.
Hey.
But yeah.
See, you gotta let out the bad ones, so then the good ones come out too.
Yeah, just like your bread.
We're talking about farts.
What?
How dare you? We will not bring up these bread puns. I will. We do not. That bread was beautiful. Those puns were amazing.
Those puns were pretty good. I'll give you that one.
We're done here.
For
Don't
puns.
You ever talk bad about my puns again.
But
this podcast will be over.
Okay, so I would walk a mile to school, or I think most of the time just walking back. I would take the bus going over there. But I would be a little kid walking around with the PSP.
Oh yeah, you stupid.
In New York City. That was the dumbest thing. And I just got away with it because the kid, like, I think most people let the kids go, you know what I mean? Most people, I guess except for predators, but I never had to deal with that. ugly
I
as
didn't
shit.
know he was going there.
No, but like none of the people, none of like, I guess they didn't just, it's kind of like a rule, unspoken rule. Like,
Leave the kids alone.
Nobody's gonna rob a little kid. Taking
That's only in
candy
like the
from-
movies.
Yeah. So even though I did get robbed once, but that's a whole different
Shit.
situation.
I didn't know you were a statistic.
Well,
I didn't know I couldn't speak either.
didn't know the decades, didn't know English. What do you know?
Nintendo.
Dough puns.
That's it. That's all I is.
I did get robbed once though because
Hot, dude.
I went to go get headphones for my PSP. Actually, I needed headphones to listen to
Segway.
because I would like I didn't have an iPod, so I just had to get headphones for my PSP and just listen.
Yeah,
to
they
it
had
all
a
the way.
weird jack too.
Yeah.
That jack with like the weird little
Mhm.
microchip in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to get it in a store right beneath like the subway, and then I had to walk home from there. And I think the two guys saw that I paid with it with Big Boy Cash, which was just $20,
Ooh.
but they were young too. They were probably like in high school, early high school,
Mhm.
and I was like in middle school. And so like they saw me pay with like $20. They're like, "Shit, this kid got money, fuck." And so I walked out, saw the kids walking behind me, and I saw the bus coming. Theoretically, if I knew what was gonna happen, I probably should have just waited there in public and then just gotten the bus and then left and bolted. But
Right.
I think the bus was taking just a little too long, and I saw this kid's looking at me, so I was like, I need to go now. So like, because what happened was they were looking at me, and they looked away, and I was like, I didn't run because I didn't want to seem too suspicious. I don't know why, but I like they're already gonna rob me.
You were the one getting screwed over.
Yeah, I know. But they looked at me, and then they looked away. I think like one of them looked at me and went back into the store, and then I started walking, and the guy. And then he looked away. I started walking. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna walk away. Maybe they won't know where I'll go. And I remember thinking, oh, maybe I should take a right to really throw them off. Like maybe I should take a right and then like turn left real quick. Or like I was thinking, take a right, then bolt. But I was like, oh, let me just walk one more block and then I'll turn. I got like maybe 2-3 blocks down. Then I barely hear, and I like look behind me, and the dude's just running up to me, and he's like, hey man. And I was just like, fuck. I was like. Yeah, I took out my headphones, and he was like, he was a very nice dude. This must have been the first time he's ever done it, because he was, like I said, he was young too.
Mm-hmm.
So this must have been the first time he experimented with robbing somebody. He was just trying
Everybody
to
has
dabble
their
into
first.
it. He was like, I should just do a middle school first, dude. It's easy. They get scared. They just give you the money, which I did. They were like, he went up to me, and he's like, he didn't like, hey man, give me all your fucking money, or he wasn't like he didn't pull out a gun or anything. He was just like. It sounds so weird when I say it out loud. He goes up to me and he was like, hey man, I'm gonna be real with you. We're about to rob you. And so he was like, my brother's back there. Just give me the money. And I was just like, just give me money. And I was like, oh, all right. I just gave it. I didn't know what else to do. And like I knew
He technically didn't threaten you or anything. Technically, I don't think that was a robbery. It was just like a gift between.
that's kind of a threat.
It was
that he gonna rob
it was a
me.
gift between friends for sure.
That's what he could say to the cops if it happened.
Exactly. Plausible deniability.
He also did say, we're going to rob you. So I feel like that's also a confession that they're going to rob me.
Yeah, that is a hole in my
But
experiment.
He did kind of just say it. And I'm sure that's a story on his side too. I wish I could see him again today. And I wouldn't care. I would be like, whatever, you took $20 from me, whatever. I spent that on fucking fast food in like a day, so it's fine. But
Dude, you could get 2 Funko Pops.
so I went up, yeah, you could. Let's get my discount. Anyway, so I went up to him and I said, or no, he went up to me and he said, I'm just going to rob you. And I knew that his big brother was back there. So I was like, I don't know if he said that. I don't know if he said, my big brother's back there, watch out. Or if I just knew that, because I knew he wasn't alone. I knew it was 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, there's no way I'm going to get out of this. And I gave him the money, and then he patted me down just a little bit. It wasn't like he just did a quick and like checked my pockets. Because I gave it to him, and he was like, is that all? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna keep $1 or something. He's just like, and he just patted me down real quick, just like hit my jacket pockets, check my thing, whatever. I don't think I had a wallet. It was just like I was literally just holding $20 because I was just a kid. And so he just like patted me down. He's like, all right, go. And I was just like, and I was, my heart was racing or something like that. I was just like, oh, that was kind of rough. Or actually, no, I think I said that I took out my headphones, but I didn't have my headphones. My headphones were just in my back, and so my heart was racing. And the reason I know that I didn't have my headphones in was because maybe halfway home, I just realized my PSP is in my backpack. And I was like, he could have easily taken away my limited edition Star Wars PSP.
Can't find those anymore, can you?
But I was like, holy shit, he didn't check my backpack. And I was like, fuck yeah. That's like immediately.
You dumb piece of shit. You only got my $20.
Immediately, I just felt like I won. I was like, yes, fuck you. I have my PSP. And then I kind of tricked my mom later on because I didn't tell my mom until I think 2 months ago because I was actually telling her about a couple of stories.
Only 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was like 10 years later.
Holy shit.
But I told her.
I guess that passes the statute of limitations.
I mean, yeah, because my mom asked me, and she's like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, I thought you were going to be mad at me. She was like, I was going to be mad at you for getting robbed. And I was just like, I don't know, Mom. I don't know. I'm just scared.
My mom would get mad at me for being robbed.
Yeah, 100% my mom would too. And my mom would be like, you're not walking home anymore. And I was like, I love the freedom. Whenever there was a couple times where my mom did try to stop me from walking home alone. And I was like, fuck that. I love doing that shit. I love like getting my headphones in and just zoning out for like 10 blocks or whatever and just like do my own thing. I would get pizza on the way home or I'd get soda, whatever.
Absolutely.
And so I just didn't do it. So what happened, and I'm sure I could have gone away with just not doing this. I could have just told her, I put it in your drawer because my mom used to keep a drawer that she would have 20s in or something like that just in case for like emergency, I guess, or whatever.
Right.
And so I would tell her, so what happened was I took a 20 out of the drawer. And she was like, hey, you got the change for those headphones? I was like, yeah, here you go. Just give her the 20. She's like, oh, okay. And she just forgot what she gave me because she gave me a 20. Or maybe it was 30. Maybe she gave me 30 and then it was only like something like that. But anyway, I just gave her the 20. I was like, here you go. And she's like, all right, thank you. Put it in her pocket and just moved on.
You slick little motherfucker.
And I was like, wow. I just got, your son got robbed and you don't even know it. What a shitty mom.
What a fucking awful mother.
Yeah, but overall, did a lot growing up in New York. That's kind of why I...
almost like you grew up there.
Kind of why I see that as like that house specifically. I lived in that house for 3 years, and I feel like that's where I did most of my growing up. Like that as a kid, like that's like when you think of like your childhood home. That's the one
that's
that
the most impressionable.
Yeah.
Time.
Anything you want to talk about?
I think we should just roll right into Tifu Shifus.
All right, let's.
And then right now is where you put in the flute, where it's like, toodaloo! Or is that like in bad taste?
That's what
no, not that one.
That's what it sounded like.
Like the flute, like just. Oh, is that an ad? Yes, it was. Patrick Stewart. No.
Patrick Stewart. Yes.
Shut up.
That's the title right there.
Now it's time. And now it's time for the Tifu Shifus. Okay, so again, edited for clarity. Some people don't know how to type. But we're going to start with one from Kick the Apple. And this is, today I fucked up by reading manga the wrong way.
Really?
So a bit of backstory.
Oh, wait, the Kick the Apple is the dude's name?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like the title of the thing. All right, go ahead.
No. No, Kick the Apple's the dude, yeah. A bit of backstory. I used to read a lot of Marvel and DC, and 6 months ago I started reading manga. To be exact, My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and One Piece.
Good shit.
So this happened yesterday. I was in school, and me and my friends were all reading manga, and I wanted to show them a fight in chapter 152 of My Hero Academia. We should probably look up what that is, but fuck it.
I could possibly just put it right here if you want me to. Just put it right here. You know what?
Put it right. No, put it right here.
Okay, I just cover my face with it. All right, go ahead.
This is my time to shine.
Yeah, go ahead.
I proceeded to show them and read it out loud, and after I finished, they just stare at me. I looked at them, and I was just like, what? And then that's when they told me you're supposed to read from right to left.
Did he spoil it?
Huh?
Go ahead.
No. He didn't spoil it. He's reading it wrong. He read it like a normal book.
Okay, but I thought he was going to spoil it for all of his friends.
No.
That'd have been really funny. That'd be really funny if he just ruined the whole thing. And it's like, oh, I thought you were supposed to start right there. And then everybody's like, we haven't got that far. Like they're all like, we only got halfway through the book.
Mayday. Anyway, my dumbass thought manga was read like a normal comic.
Yeah, I mean,
the whole time
that's understandable.
I thought it was a bad translation. When I realized what I'd done, it was too late, and I'd read manga wrong for 6 whole months. And every time I talk about it now, my friends remind me of how fucking stupid I am. So kick the apple. I feel for you. Although I was taught at I was a young weeblet. Got taught very early on the other way around.
See, yeah, my cousins taught me that. Even though I never read manga, they told me that that's how you do it. So I knew that too growing up. But that's so funny. That's 6 months is a really fucking long time.
Like Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that was a big oof. But that would have been a lot worse if that dude spoiled everything for people. That would have been a lot worse.
You took the expectations way higher, so it kind of just I'm stupid.
No, it's still good.
It's okay. You just fucked up my fucked up.
We have a friend that actually he wanted to watch One Punch Man because there's a YouTuber who really liked it.
Right.
And so he was like, let me try this out. I think this was his first anime he's ever watched, maybe except for like Naruto episodes that he saw on TV. And he watched this one episode, and he was like, it was cool. It was funny. It was like, there's some interesting stuff, but like, I was just kind of confused what would happen, whatever. And he started to describe it to us. And we're like, you watched the last episode of the first season.
Oh my God.
And you're like, really? And he's like, yeah. And then I don't think to this day he's ever gone back and watched it. And we're like, some of the episodes in like the first episode or like the middle, like somewhere in the middle are like the funniest episodes. Right. The last one's kind of like, it's kind of funny, like, but more action. It's kind of like, whoa, that's really cool.
It's like it like got built up for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But he was just like, oh, I guess I watched the last episode.
Oh,
just like,
how that happened?
All right.
What happened?
What's the next segment?
Okay. The next Tifu.
Yeah, next Tifu.
Is today I fucked up by teaching my toddler to metal sing Baba Black Sheep.
All right, you're gonna have to explain that one to me because I don't really understand.
Okay, well let me just read.
All right.
And this is from Life and Times 89. So as with all toddlers, they're like a sponge and like distraction. Growing up, when I was changing her, she would kick and mess about, which made it all the more difficult. So to stop this, I would teach her things like where her body parts were and sing songs. Usually happened in this order, and she would repeat songs and sing along with me. Over time, the songs weren't having the same effect, so I started to sing them in a deeper voice to try and distract her better. The one usually after pointing out her body parts was Ba Ba Black Sheep. She's going to be starting preschool soon, and at orientation, the teacher was asking normal things like how she is and what she does, what does she know, and all that. And she got to naming body parts, which my toddler did excellent in. This is where the fuck up happened. As the teacher finished asking her questions, my toddler, as if by Pavlovian conditioning, with the last body part in position, dropped her head and eyebrows and started to belt the most gnarliest metalcore voice ever, Ba Ba Black Sheep. If you've never seen a child sing in a low baritone voice, it's quite shocking and terrifying. Like Damien from Omen, only with pigtails. Her mother, who I could tell was not aware she could do this, looked at me, and then the teacher, who quite frankly didn't know what to say, was shocked. She tried to collect herself and said, "I'll see you guys later," which has never sounded more like, "You guys must be teaching your kid how to worship the devil." So it's just TLDR. Taught my daughter to sing Baba Black Sheep hardcore. She proceeds to do so on orientation before preschool.
Jesus Christ! See, I'm already
just imagine like Baba Black Sheep. Have you heard anyone?
I already get like terrified.
Baby.
I already get terrified of like kids in like horror movies and stuff like that. Like when they're like haunted.
Imagine like if she had like the ring hair, just like. Oh boy,
dude, that would be terrifying. I would be exactly like that teacher and be like, "Well, you guys have a good day. You guys,
I'm gonna switch schools.
Yeah,
I hope to never see you again.
Please don't make me a main character in this scary story."
That's part of why I don't want kids. I'm gonna do weird shit like that.
Really?
I'm gonna have weird fucking kids.
Yeah, I would. If I ever become a dad, it would be like I would be striving for like the.
Please be normal. Please be normal.
Please
like, be fucking normal.
No, I'm striving for like the 4 to 5 year old range of like that's when they start to like become a person. As a toddler, I know I'm gonna say some dumb shit that's just gonna like that's just gonna impression on them so hard, and I'm like, and I don't know if I could ever control myself like cursing in front of anybody or listening to like the wrong kind of music, because I hate when people do that to me. I hate when there's censorship on platforms of like when people like have to bleep shit out, or like I see a YouTube video and like they purposely like try to not say curse words, like they'll say frick or some shit like that, and I'm just like, I can't do that. I cannot do that. That's like censoring my soul, my person. I don't know if I could do that.
You can't take it from the man.
Yeah, and then I don't know how I would be able to survive with like doing that with a kid, because I know it's right not to do that.
You can't.
But
Oh,
I'm
that'll
just
fuck
like,
them up forever.
that would be harsh for me.
I know kids who are taught curse words early on. They're not doing that great. Just saying. Just fucking saying.
One time my sister, I was walking home with my sister, and she said, or I said, can I? I was like, so I don't know if I started the conversation or she did, but I basically was like, can I, like, when do you think I could start saying curse words?
Oh my god.
And she said, well, this is kind of embarrassing, but it's really funny though. She was like, what? I said, okay, fine, then just say a couple, and I'll see how it feels. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to say? And she's like, I don't know, just say anything.
See what you know.
And I said,
this was a trap to see what you knew.
This is me as a little kid, probably like early middle school, late elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
I said, girl, you such a bitch. but I said it like as corny as can be. I was like, girl, you such like a little kid voice.
Yeah.
Girl, you such a bitch. And she was just like, no. She was like, no. She said, don't. You don't have to say all of that. Just say the curse word. And I was like, or she said, you don't have to say all of that. And I was like, oh, okay. Bitch. You're such a bitch. And she was like, she's like, stop. She's like,
don't.
She was like, don't say it. Like, just say the curse word. And I was like,
no,
bitch. and
bitch,
fuck,
fucking shit.
And she was like, you're not ready. And I was like,
dude, I knew people who like had like a timetable, like with their parents. Like at 13, I can say crap. At 15, I can say shit. At 16, I can say damn. No, like straight up, they were excited to be old enough to say fuck.
That sounds dumb as shit.
And me, I was just like, fuck.
Fuck. Just get louder and louder as the years go on.
And when I was little, when I could barely even speak, there's My Fair Lady, and there's one part where they just go, damn, damn, damn. There's a video of me somewhere as a little kid just going, damn, damn, damn.
You know what's funny?
And my mom thought it was fucking hilarious. Look at me now, cursing like a goddamn sailor. Thanks, Mom.
You don't curse that much. Not as much as a lot of people I know. You're still pretty good at like hiding it, or not hiding it, but like not saying as much.
Fuck you.
Oh fuck! Damn, you do say it.
Oh, proved you wrong there, bucko.
There was a. So I didn't know that "damn" was a curse word till I got here, and I said it in front of my friend's mom. He was like, "You know, you were like cursing in front of my mom," and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh yeah.
And I was just saying like, "Damn," or something like that. And they're like, "Yeah, damn." Or I was like, "That's not a curse word." He's like, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "Oh, I say damn all the time. What do you mean?" Like, I was like, "What do you mean?" I was just like, what am I supposed to say? Like, is damn it a curse word too? Damn it. And you're like, damn it.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know that. See, like, I just didn't know any of that. And then I talked to my mom later on. I was like, is damn a curse word? And she was like, I think so. And I was like, but you let us say it. And she's like, well, I don't think damn's that bad. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I said it in front of you all the time. She's like, yeah, it's not bad. It's like, so when I say goddamn, that's not a big deal. And she was like, that's rough. Really, don't say that.
Dude, that's the one. My dad, I'll say anything. To this day, I'll say anything. If I say goddamn, I see him like get pissed off about it.
Yeah, my mom was still not. Like, my mom didn't get mad at me.
Use the Lord's name in vain.
My mom didn't get mad at me for saying it, but she's like, "That's a rough one. Don't do that. That's a bad one. Don't say that." I was like,
"It's like, okay. Whoa, buddy."
I guess I can see that one. That one says God in front of it. But damn, and I was like, because I would literally, that would be my go-to. Like, it would, like, as a kid, somebody would do something, and I'd be like, damn. I'd be like, damn, dude.
What the fuck?
That was fucking rough, man.
Why you gotta be like that, bitch?
But yeah, I would say damn. Like, I've said damn since I was a kid, and then he blew up my whole world. I was like, damn, that's what triggers you guys. I don't know.
White people be crazy.
My parents also never really censored. I will say my parents didn't like me saying curse words in front of them, but they never got mad at me. They never punished me. They would just go like, "Hey, stop, no back, okay, cool, let's move on." And I was never disrespectful about it. But my parents never censored my movies. Did you ever get censored of what movies you could watch?
Nope,
me neither. The best, or the only thing that they wouldn't let me see is sex scenes.
The only thing they wouldn't let me see is Ed, Edd and Eddie.
Really?
Because my dad thought it'd make me stupid. Joke's on you, Dad.
I'm still dumb as fuck.
Dumb as shit.
My parents, the only thing they wouldn't let me do, like other than like the sex scenes, they wouldn't let me see sex scenes. But they would still let me watch the movies with it in it. They would just, they would go like, Danny, it's coming up, close your eyes. And I'd be like, okay. And just speak a little bit. And I'd be like, and just like, I saw a boob. Fuck you.
I keep doing this thing. And it's really awkward because there's a lot of sex in TV lately.
Yeah, a lot.
And I'm like, it doesn't even faze me anymore. I've watched Spartacus, which is like every episode has an orgy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm like, dang, this is a really good show. And I'm like, hey, Mom, you should check out this show. A couple of days pass. Like, I don't know why you told me to watch that, but please refrain from showing me movies with sex scenes, please. I'm just like, you right. The worst one, I didn't even know. I was just like, hey, I heard this is cool. Let's watch it. Watching sex scenes with my mom as an adult. Now with my dad, whatever. Shit happens. He always makes jokes about it. Her, it's just silent judgment.
You know, it's really awkward. Watching sex scenes, not with my parents. That's awkward as fuck. But not even talking about that. There was one time where I watched a sex scene with like my cousin's family, and I think everybody left their eyes open except for me, and they just had to tell me to close my eyes, and I just felt left out. That's all it was. Like I felt awkward as shit, but I also just felt me. And they're like, "Yes, Danny, close your eyes." And it was a fucking Watchmen. And that sex scene is like,
that was just a big swinging dick.
well, no, it was a sex scene.
Sex scene?
Yeah.
Oh,
with the girl superhero and the owl dude. Owl City.
have to watch Watchmen. Who watches The Watchmen? Me tonight alone.
Seeing guys. But yeah, there's a sex scene, and it was a pretty sex filled scene. And I mean, it wasn't anything.
Man, that scene got sexy.
It wasn't anything like, what was it, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where there was just like full. Maybe it's that movie I'm thinking of.
There's one comedy where somebody fucks a cantaloupe.
I don't know, but it's nothing like too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But that was still awkward being in my cousin's family, not even my own family, and just having to cover my eyes and go like, Danny, it's coming up, close your eyes. And I was like, fuck. And what also sucked about that movie was that my aunt and my uncle, I think it was like my aunt specifically, doesn't speak that well English. So they had to watch in Spanish with subtitles. And I was like, this is boring as shit. It was like, you're making me watch a Spanish version of a movie and it just doesn't match their lips at all. And then I have to cover my eyes during the sex scene.
Now look at you.
I want to revolt.
You're a little weeblet. You're getting used to it.
Yeah. At the time, I hated it, though. There was one time where I was a little kid and I started blasting. I wasn't that little. It was probably late middle school, early high school.
What you blasting?
I was blasting "Just Had Sex" by Lonely Island just to make my family feel awkward as shit.
Oh my god, you little bastard!
Like, and I think my sister was in town too. So I was like, hey, you want to listen to this song? And she's like, what? And I just started blasting. She's like, what? She literally just go like, Tanny, why? And I'm just like.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they would look at me like, is he telling us? Like I think my sister's literally was like they didn't ask me, but they had like the looks of like, they were like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it was like, what the fuck?
Context?
And then like,
can we get some context here?
Like Danny, you fucking
you balls deep, homie.
But yeah, it was. I think it turned out for the best. I think some people are equally as fucked up when they're too neutered as a kid. Like with all the censorship and everything, and then they get to high school or college, and they're like,
I hope nobody's neutering their kids.
You know what the fuck I mean? Did you know that there's like some cultures that are not like distant. Like some people live here and they do it when they like circumcise their kids when they're already like older. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was a thing until like a year ago, and I was like, that fucking blows. Kids? When they're older, like when they're like middle school.
That's like, ew.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently, like, I heard that it was like in their country, they do it when you're awake, and it's like showing that you're like a man, like you have suffered through that. And then like, but then like here, like they actually knock you out with knockout gas and shit like that. But it's still like, goddamn.
No, I'm good.
That should fuck you up. That shit will fuck you up.
I'm good, man. I don't need that.
But yeah, I think it's fine to not fully like, you know, censor everything. I think you just got to be open up to the real world.
That's the takeaway from today's show. Show a little bit, titty.
And it, it's a full circle because it reminds me of, or it kind of is like full circle to what we were talking about at the beginning when we were talking about people like us wanting people to open up and show them real selves,
Right.
and not trying to be like too nice or like that. It's the same thing
This
with
is
like
the real world.
with the world. Like you just got to accept it. You don't need to be
Accept
like,
the
oh,
flaws.
everything's goody, like good, perfect, everything from the
Here's
movies.
thing.
It's
That's-
like
when it hits them that the world isn't what they think it is. If they're old, there's gonna be a lot.
them
It's
up.
gonna be a lot harder to
it
cope.
fucks them up real badly.
Like kids have the best coping mechanism. They have, it's like even like proven like they have really they have a lot more brain plasticity. They can deal with a lot more change.
Yeah.
When you're old and you're stupid, you can't handle any change.
Yeah, you're like, what is going on? My
That-
whole world's flipping
like-
upside down.
It's like how old people are like computers. What the fuck? But now we're like completely engrossed in it. You know.
Dude, I felt so bad. Speaking of old people,
I like where this is going.
I hate old people. I don't know if I've talked about this in a
Shit.
podcast yet, but I absolutely hate old people.
Anybody old listening?
Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here.
Danny's views and my own are
No, I think
not the same.
this
I
reminds
love
me.
old people.
Do you really?
In like a don't get anywhere near me kind of way. Like,
And if you stay far away from me and you're in a movie and you look kind of adorable, then yeah, sure. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Look at Betty White. That's cute. She's
No,
cute.
I actually think. Don't get me wrong. I think
Look
old
at
people.
Morgan Freeman.
There are old people that are pretty dope, but I have yet to meet that many old people, or I haven't met that many old people around where we live. I feel like a lot of people around here are very stuck in their ways, very like, fuck you. This is how it's been since I was a kid. I've been in this town since I was a little boy. This is how life is. Why are you messing with me? Especially working in fast food. I feel like you should know that too. Of like, you got my order wrong. I haven't had an order wrong since 1954. Why is this all fucked up? Blah, blah, blah. You not agree?
I agree there. I just hate. My thing is like, I don't hate old people. I hate people.
They're all just fucked.
I just enjoy my time by myself.
Yeah, today, like the reason I was gonna bring that up was because today I went to Chipotle and their card machine wasn't working, and I saw the look on their faces, the workers' faces, and I was like,
Having to deal with so
you
many
have
people.
to go through this shit. I'm so sorry. Like I just felt so bad for them. I was like, I understand. I'm so sorry. It's like right away. I like right after me. They were still uncertain if they got the card machine. Like, is it working? I don't know. We got to test it a couple times. And then you see this person go like, this old man comes up and she's like, sorry, are you paying? And like Chipotle doesn't usually ask this at the beginning. They
Right.
just
So
get
he
your order.
He's just like,
Yeah. And she was like, sorry, sir, are you paying with a cash card? I want a bowl to go. And she's like, but what payment are you going to use? She's like, brown rice. And then she's like, okay, sure. She literally like
we'll
when she
deal with this later.
she literally like raised up her hand and was like, well, okay. And just started pouring the rice. And then I was just like, I think I looked at the girl next to me because like the girl ahead of me because she knew what was going on too. And I was just like, I think we both started laughing because we were just like, I'm so sorry. Like this is so fucked up. Anyway, we've been going on for a pretty long time.
Well, yeah, I think we hit our quota.
Yeah. So
I usually set up some sort of ending. I didn't do that. I forgot. So
I don't forgot.
This one's up to you, Bubby.
All right. So I'm just gonna fuck. All right. I'm Danny. I'm a big oof.
I'm Patrick. I'm a bigger roof. Insert ending here.
Nice. Peace out.